This is episode 58 with Millana Snow. Every ounce of your being is made up of molecules of energy vibrating at different frequencies that determine your experience here on planet Earth.
This podcast's intention is to inspire you to elevate the vibration of your energy for yourself and for all of us. This is The Elevator.
Hop on in and ride into the ethers with Britt and Tara of Elevate the Globe.
Not recognizing that some of these stories or family beliefs were baked in to my physical body. Them coming to the surface at the time that they have has actually helped me to deepen my relationships with my family, with my boyfriend, with my closer friends, because the things that I didn't know were playing out subconsciously are now I'm aware.
So we are so grateful for this episode's sponsor, FabFitFun. And we're so excited because we're getting a box here soon. And if you don't already know about FabFitFun, it's a seasonal box with full-size beauty, fitness, and lifestyle products. And we'd love to know if you guys have actually tried this already. So each season's box features a variety of amazing quality brands, and we are excited to find out that they actually have a lot of vegan, sustainable, and non-toxic brands that they put in each season's box. So we're excited to see which ones we get here soon, and a couple of them that we're looking forward to seeing if they're actually there are ISH eyeshadow, Tarte mascara. They have Ahava foot cream and Levito body lotion. There's a Charlie Feast vegan backpack and reusable silverware. So there's so many fun things, and we really can't wait to see what shows up on our doorstep.
So fun. Yeah, I could totally see how it feels like it's your birthday 4 times a year because they have the 4 seasons that come out. So we think you guys will love this, and they sell out really fast. So don't miss out. You can check them out at FabFitFun.com, and you can use the code ELEVATOR so that you can save $10 off your first box. So it retails for $49.99, even though you get over $200 of value. But with the $10 off discount, it makes it only $39.99. So we are so excited for you guys to check this out. And again, you can head over to FabFitFun.com and use the code ELEVATOR. All right, guys, are you ready? We cannot wait for you to listen to this week's episode. You are in for such a great conversation. So make sure to screenshot your favorite part as you're listening. We can't wait to see and repost them. So make sure to tag us on Instagram at Elevate the Globe. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And after you do, send us a screenshot at the elevator at elevatetheglobe.com, and we'll send you our magic morning checklist.
So Millana is just this beautiful, beautiful woman who sauntered in our office and just made us so happy. We had such a good conversation with her. And so we are very excited for you guys to listen, and we really hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back to The Elevator, and today we are so excited to welcome our guest, Millana Snow. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, thank you.
Happy to have you.
So just a little bit more about Millana. She is an energy healer, a meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur, and the founder of the new and coming to you soon, wellnessofficial.co, which is an online community and marketplace for wellness practitioners and brands. And she's also the host of This Is Wellness with Millana Snow. And we just are so excited to have you. So thank you. This is going to be so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'd love to hear just from your words, a little elevator pitch, just sharing more about who you are and what you're doing in the world.
Well, I'm a Virgo.
I speak your language.
Virgo? I saw the sapphire.
I do. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I am an energy healer, and I am an entrepreneur. My biggest influence right now is to really focus on being as present as possible in all things that I do. And so I work with lots of love to do that daily as much as possible and to share that in the practices that I practice with people that I'm in community with. I've built a website that is connecting holistic practitioners and brands all over the world. We've got amazing people in the community, and it really came out of being a practitioner myself and being in the wellness community for over 7 years as a community organizer in wellness between New York, LA, and London, and realizing that there wasn't a marketplace where people could actually find the right practitioners for them and the resources and education to find out what they needed to really get into deeper healing. So I've been building that for the past year and a half, and we are actually going into the public beta within a couple of weeks. So it's a really exciting time. And that's just really
Congratulations.
what I'm into right now.
I love it. What you're into right now.
Because it's all about being here right now.
Right now, right? I like that. I feel like I'm going to start thinking about it like that. This is what I'm into right now.
Yeah, totally.
Creating right now in the moment.
Totally. That's really been my practice. So if I sound at all somber, it's just because I'm really just really being present and really just being with you guys in this moment. Yeah.
I love that. So I think before we kind of get into where you are right now, we'd love to hear a little bit more about how you got here, like what your story was to really getting you where you're at now.
Yeah, I've always been a very, I would say, spiritually minded person, very open to the spiritual world and to all spiritual practices. As a really young kid, I started doing tarot cards and hypnotizing my friends in elementary school. Really weird things would happen out of that.
Oh, wow.
Because I was not taught. I just started doing it. And over the years, I went from everything from Wicca and hippie cults, basically, not really cults, but almost. And then actually becoming a born again Christian in college. And then I moved to New York and became a model. When I was in New York, I kind of really got deep into Christianity, which was a complete diversion from witchcraft and New Age cults, obviously. And
the polarity.
and spent a lot of time just really finding myself throughout the fashion industry. I went on to win Project Runway as a model and had a complete 360 revolutionary experience in my spiritual path at that time, because I felt that I was going to be the winner before I even auditioned for it. I got a message from Spirit and ended up spending 4 months on the show, which is like this crazy reality show that nobody could possibly know that they were going to win, practicing new age law of attraction practices for 4 months straight, and then realizing that that was something that I wanted to focus on, and then end up winning the show. And that kind of really melded all the practices of Christianity, yoga, Wiccan, earth magic, all of that into one practice that I've been really honing ever since. So I've lived in LA now for 3.5 years, and I'm, just still a seeker, still practicing, but now has merged all of that into my energy healing practice as an energy healer.
I love it. It's all just sort of coming together.
Yeah.
So before we move into anything else, I'd love to hear what that message sounded like. How did you receive it that you were going to be the winner of Project Runway? How did it come to you?
I think everybody receives energy or, messages and energy differently. For me, it's actually an audible message. So I don't really tend to see, sometimes people see like actual people and they'll say something to them. I hear something that I can tell is not me speaking.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me feel unsafe or anything like that. It's just really kind of like a big, booming, simple voice. And that very simple voice said, "You are the winner of Project Runway." And because I had heard that voice and I'd practiced working with that voice for many years, I knew that that wasn't me. And I actually, my response to that voice when it happened, I had just hung up the phone. My agent had just said, "You have to go to Project Runway audition. You've got 30 minutes before they close the doors." I hung up. I'm like, okay. And then I heard, "You are the winner of Project Runway." And I just laughed and I said, "God, can I just go to the audition first?" Like, that's hilarious. Like, come on, So I went to the audition and I could just kind of feel, I always say it's like this thickness in the air. I could just feel that there was something different about that audition.
Mhm.
I could feel that like the casting directors were really looking at me, and I could feel that there was just something about that moment. So I was like, oh, okay. So I knew that there was something else going on, but it definitely was funny to me.
Yeah. Like, let me have the journey.
Yeah. I mean, come on, that's a lot to say, God. Okay. Let's just go audition. And then when I went home that night, I said, okay, if I book this, I'm just going to take that as, yes, I am the winner. And my job is to be in the vibration of that and to do the work every single day, no matter what, to be in that vibrational state. And so I actually booked it the next day. And that was a 4-month experiment of what is it like to be in the vibration of being the winner.
Wow. So what did that actually look like for you as you were practicing?
I always look back to this because I feel that this was one of the biggest examples for me and like metaphors for how this process works. And I got to experience it over a very specific container of being in a green room for 16 hours every day with people who thought they were competing. And it's like, no hating on anyone, because I know some of those women still. It's just that it's really there. It wasn't about being a competition. So that was really the first thing. It was like I was very clear on what was happening, and there was really actually no ego attached to it. It wasn't that I needed to be better or skinnier or could walk a certain way. It was actually like, oh, this is just how it is. And so I have to stay at the vibration of that. And so because I was very clear on that, every day I would go into this space and I would see that what I was experiencing was complete contrast to that. So a lot of comparison, a lot of discord, a lot of arguments, a lot of judgment, a lot of self-flagellation, if you will. And so my job on a daily practice was to constantly just be in a space where I could hold myself in another vibrational state. So a lot of times I would have I was going to say AirPods, but this was 2010, so those were not there yet. But I'd have my music playing in my ears, and I would be listening to music that was really high vibrational music, and I would literally sometimes like dance in the corner by myself. I probably looked insane 90% of the time, meditated every day, was very selective about what I ate because I knew that I needed to feel a certain way physically. I went to yoga. I went to Bikram yoga back then every single day. Unless it didn't feel vibrationally uplifting for me to go, then I would sleep. And I was very, very specific about every action, every word. I would never ask anybody's opinion because it didn't matter if my dress was ugly. I was still going to win.
Yeah.
I love that.
It didn't matter if my makeup or hair looked bad. I was still going to win. So why put myself in a state where I would feel bad about it? So it was very interesting to experiment and feel into all the nuance of that in a very specific container every day.
Wow, that's so cool.
I love it. I feel like, do you feel like it took a lot of effort for you to do that? Or did it feel sort of natural for you to really stay in it?
Oh, well, something I actually pray and meditate on this a lot because I think there was something that happened when I got that message that was so clear about that outcome. And then that night I just decided that was it. So after that, and I think for me, that's something I constantly come to, like that choice of like, this is it. This is what's happening. Everything from that just kind of was that,
right?
If that makes sense. It wasn't really an option. I knew that I had a job to do, and that was to stay in a certain vibrational state. And then I would practice what that would feel like. And I could feel the feeling of that. And I would then continue to cultivate it. So it was more of like an experiment every day that I kind of would just feel into and explore. And instead of me feeling like I had to be something or become something, it was more of like an exploration of something that I already believed was.
Okay.
Does that
make
sense?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's pure manifesting.
It's like there was no doubt. It was just, it was already happening. So it's just about you staying in alignment to continue to attract what was already the outcome.
I think also what was really interesting about this, because I've used this practice many years now. This had a very specific timeline. The show was going to end in 4 months. So it wasn't like, my website, for example, where it's like, we don't know how long the developers in India are going to do this,
For sure.
or we don't know how long it's going to take to fundraise, which ironically, I find that when I really get really comfortable in the exploration of this thing that I already know is the truth or already know is the outcome, then time seems to shorten, then things seem to collapse, and it opens up in terms of like, time just has more space in it. But with this, it was like I had 4 months. So I knew that in 4 months, this is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. That's like a quantum thing too. You focus in on it and it opens up for you.
Totally. And just
unfolds.
becoming comfortable
Yeah.
in whatever that is in the moment, instead of wanting it to be something now or make it, get to this final thing that is coming. It's like, actually, let me just be in it now. And then it opens up and you realize that there it is.
There it is.
If
Yeah.
that makes
I love
sense.
that. I think that's very key to just like, if you know that it's already coming, then you wouldn't be rushing to get to the outcome.
Totally.
It's like, you just know that you're in these steps along the way to the thing that's already there, already happening.
Totally.
And so you can just embrace every moment.
Totally. And if you don't need the outcome to happen in order to feel good about it or to feel that it's already manifested, then the journey to it is really what it's about, because you're already feeling the energy of that manifestation. So I think that's something that I've really been practicing. And that's why I was saying literally today, something that I've been really like, okay, let me be fully in the moment so that I can experience what I know is already done.
And then
Love that.
it's like that, and then you're like, oh, I get to actually experience it now.
Exactly.
Instead of like wanting it all the time, you just experience what it feels like and you experience it the whole way through.
Totally.
And then when you get there, you're already having a bigger experience of whatever it is.
Totally.
And then you can double it and triple it. Whatever.
Totally.
Oh, this is great. This is like
Yeah.
an abundance concept.
That feels
I
good.
like it,
love
right?
it.
It feels
Yeah,
good.
it's like,
Right?
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I know. I've been getting so many chills sitting next to you. And like, I just love your energy so much.
Thank you. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So I think it'd be cool to hear a little bit about like how that experience and just your journey in general started turning into more energy work and energy healing.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think it was actually shortly thereafter that experience, because having that experience after being in the fashion industry for many years, I realized that the fashion industry was not for me. I realized that there was a reason why it hadn't really worked out for me. And actually, Project Runway was a TV show. It was not fashion.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure, actually a lot of those designers have gone on to really become really legitimate and successful designers. But for the most part, what I realized was, actually, I'm really good on television. I'm really good with connecting with people. And the fashion industry for me, especially at that time, I think things have shifted since then, didn't really match my values. There were a lot of things that I was a part of and perpetuating that I actually didn't want for myself and didn't want to make people think that they should want for themselves either. Like this idea that you have to look a certain way, be a certain weight, have certain things to be validated or to be considered beautiful or successful. And so I realized that I was caught in that trap, even though that wasn't something I actually believed in. And it was really because of that experience that was Project Runway, which was extremely spiritual of an experience for me. I was like, okay, I need to really take a look at what's really going on here, because that everything else before this was complete bullshit. And so I took a break, and ironically, for an entire year after winning, I didn't work for an entire year, didn't book one job.
Really?
Wow.
And then finally, about a year later, I booked a travel show and I went to China. And I had this amazing experience in China, did this travel show, came back and just realized if it doesn't feel like those two things, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Like it has to feel like I'm really connecting with people, like I'm really able to live my truth and share things that matter and experience just deeper living in my work. And so I actually started a company kind of out of thin air when I met somebody through a bunch of different synchronistic events who basically said, I'll give you $10,000 to start your own company. And I had no idea what that was going to be. And it was originally, I had just set this intention that it was something that I could truly be proud of. Not because I was on television, not because of like how I'd make people feel that were mean to me in middle school, which at one point was actually a thing in college, but it was like, but because it actually makes a difference and it actually is something that I feel truly good about when I go home and sleep on it. And so I had this vision to start rooftop yoga at the James Hotel, which is this hotel in New York, in Soho. And that was back in 2012. So I just started to bring women together from all these different industries in New York. And we would do rooftop yoga every single week back in 2012. And oh my God, it was like so homegrown back then. It was really cute. I was like 25. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I would call Lululemon and ask them for yoga mats. And they were like, nope, you can't even borrow them. And it was just like such a funny little thing. And then eventually over 7 years, it ended up expanding into rooftop yoga in London and then Los Angeles. We started doing things with Soho House, and Lululemon finally came back around.
You're like, I've been calling you guys for 5 years.
It's like, about time, thanks. No, they ended up showing us a lot of love later, but
planted a seed.
Yes. But it was really great. And then through building like really grassroots community, I just started meeting all these amazing healers from all over the world and working with them. And then they would start to teach me things. And it was when I met my dear friend Sun Yu, who did energy healing on me, that I had this complete revolutionary like experience with her, where I realized that as spiritual as I thought I was completely out of touch with how I was actually feeling. And my energetic body was a completely new revelation for me that I was never really considering in any of my spiritual practices. And so when I experienced that with her, I just decided I'm going to try this energy healing thing out, and I'm just going to go learn it. And then I'm going to go and volunteer and see if I can just get my hands on as many people as possible. And I started volunteering at hospitals and just went from there.
Oh, I love
my
it.
gosh.
Yeah. So cool. You just went out to like everywhere and just started healing?
Oh, I mean, it was really crazy. We would have these rooftop yoga classes where we'd have, world-class teachers teaching. I don't teach yoga still to this day. So we had these amazing teachers, and literally after, because I had organized it, I would stand up and say, thanks for coming. If anybody wants to stay, I'll do Reiki on you, you know? And it was just literally that kind of grassroots beginning of just, hey guys, stay here and I'll give it to you for free. And I really, would just tell people, if you'd like Reiki, call me, we can do a session. Or if you have anything that I can volunteer at, I will come and volunteer. And so I had this vision that it was important for me to just literally get my hands on as many people as possible. And so over the course of about 4 years, it was about 1,500 people that I started doing group sessions and started doing festivals, and it just started kind of coming very naturally. And now it's really gotten to the point where I'm really looking to push energy healing in a different way, because I feel that technology is an incredible way for people to experience energy healing. So I'm now doing it through live streams and Instagram stories. And I really want to push the boundaries of what people believe in themselves that they have the ability to receive. So that's been kind of the genesis of that.
Oh, I like that. Well, I think a lot of people have like in their minds, like, how do you do energy healing online? And it's like, well, it doesn't really matter where you are. You can receive it from anywhere.
Exactly.
Because we're in a quantum world.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I would say 80% of my practice, if not 90% now, is through international clients who, some of them I have never met in person. And we have the most intimate, most connected relationship that a client practitioner can have. And even as friends, some of them become friends through the internet. So I think it's really about opening up our minds about what is possible. And then you can experience things that, you just would otherwise dismiss.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I feel like embracing where we're at and the technology that's available to us is key.
Totally.
It's like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
What does it hurt? It's all light.
Yeah.
All of the Reiki practices that we're doing and energy healers, I really believe for the most part are really just adding light to your life. And so I think it's really important to just, obviously use your discernment with who's right for you and really feel into what teachers and practitioners are right for you. But if you feel that someone is right for you, I think it's really a beautiful time in the world to just be open to receiving things in non-traditional ways now.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be so normal in a couple years to be everything's online. It's like giving us this unlimited potential to connect with people that we would never have been able to connect with before.
Totally.
You start thinking about that and you're going, whoa, even in 10 years, there's now FaceTiming and all these different things. And I remember studying abroad, being on a ship, and I had to call with a satellite phone.
Whoa.
Like
I really want to hear that story someday.
It was a huge brick. And I'm like, that was not that long ago.
Wow.
Like 13 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
And you're going, this is wild. So I cannot wait to see what is next.
Yeah, same here. Gosh, maybe we can bring our bodies from that ship to this room.
Right?
And just
my God. Yes,
can you
please.
hop into a teleportation device?
I think it's coming.
Right? I agree. I mean, you guys are doing that already though. I know it. I have a feeling.
Right? Experiencing time travel in my astral body.
Totally.
In my meditations, I always go to the future.
Totally.
Talk to her, talk to me, and what's your life like? And how do I align with that?
Totally.
To bring it to me faster.
Totally. I love that. I love that. Or being in more places. One of the things that a friend of mine told me a couple of years ago, he was like, you can just send versions of you to go and do things and talk to people for you. You can send yourself to press people in New York and just whisper in their ear about you. And then, in a couple of weeks, they'll email you. And I started doing that and it works.
Oh, wow. I love that.
And you don't have to do it to anybody specific. I mean, I think it's with positive and high intentions. Let me always say that.
For sure.
But you can send yourself versions of yourself and then call yourself back completely. But you can be in multiple places at once too.
I love it. I love that. Yeah. I'm going to start trying that.
Yeah.
Do a little whisper.
Yeah. Elevate the globe. NYT.
Love that. So cool.
So you guys, we are quickly interrupting our episode here to check in with you guys to see if you've tried Sugar Bear hair yet.
Yeah, so we are so excited about this sponsor and this amazing product. If you guys have not heard about Sugar Bear Hair, they are gummy vitamins that we've been talking about. And we are really obsessed with the Woman's Multivitamin that has so many incredible vitamins and minerals to help support your energy, your skin, and also just full body health and hair and nail growth.
So we love that they're 100% vegan and certified kosher, and they're formulated with omega-3 vitamins B12, C, D, 2, E, and so many more. So there's 16 overall micronutrients to help supplement the vitamins that many women may be missing in their recommended daily diet. So, it's designed with folate and a form of vitamin B and no folic acid, which is a no-no for us. We only do folate over here. So these are wonderful.
Yes, they are ETG approved and they have the vegan sourced amino acids that help with collagen production, are not collagen. So we love that. And yeah, they are so delicious too. So it's not like those large, really smelly pills, but they're just these amazing vitamins that are just gummies that are also free of artificial sweeteners. So if you guys have not tried these, definitely check it out. They are definitely something to supplement and make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you need. And we are just loving them.
So to recap, we are just loving the Sugar Bear multivitamin. And we also, you can also order the Sugar Bear Sleep to fall asleep faster and sleep better. So you can order both at sugarbearhair.com/elevatetheglobe. That's sugarbearhair.com/elevatetheglobe. And we're excited to see if you guys have actually tried this. So head on over again to sugarbearhair.com/elevatetheglobe.
So I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like you just have this approach where you're really tapped in and you're really intuitive, and then you use like a bunch of different, like the Reiki and a bunch of different techniques and put it all together. Is that how?
Oh, well, thank
how
you.
you would describe it?
I work on a daily basis to be as tapped in as possible. I think it's really a practice. I mean, honestly, that's something I've been really humbled in the past like 3 years of realizing, like, no matter how deep I go, no matter, I have been studying for over 25 years, but the truth is, like, I'm a baby. I don't know shit, you know? And once I like remember that, then I get to come back to what's true. And that's that everything is infinite and that it never ends. So I think that's really been my practice. And because I think I've really integrated that more and more, at least I practice that with myself personally, it's remembering that my path is never going to stop and my practices are always expanding. I never know everything. And so it's just like constantly being open to receiving more information and constantly recognizing that I always have more to learn. So I don't know if that answered what you just asked me, but
yeah, no, it's funny because I love that. I feel like it did, definitely. And I think like what I've been mentally thinking a few times since we've been talking is just like how humble you are. And I really love that. And I think it is such a beautiful practice to just always be learning, and it's just a very open perspective to attract so much more.
Yeah.
And so I love that. So yeah, it sounds like you're just always very humble and learning so much and then practicing it as you go.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think all of it is a practice. And I feel that when we start to, especially as teachers, facilitators, leaders, when we start to think that we know everything or that we are the answer for anyone else than ourselves, then we can really get into some pretty deep trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So yeah, I think it's just constantly me relaying back to my friends, my family, my clients that like the answers are always within you. I can help push you in that direction. I can help facilitate the deepening of that connection, but ultimately the answers are yours. You know what you need. And I can't do that for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you can hold space and facilitate
Definitely.
and help move you. And that's what teachers do. And the constant learning is also what makes the best teachers out there the best, because they're always learning themselves and then sharing with you what they're learning. And it's just an offering of an experience within yourself, and then also an offering of just expansion always.
Totally.
So, to people and new perspectives.
Totally.
So that's why I think it's great to have multiple teachers, to have lots of people that you're always kind of like touching base with and kind of creating your own perspectives on things and taking things from everywhere, really. And like some things you're not going to agree with, some things you're not going to want to deal with in yourself.
Totally.
You know, there's lots of stuff, but
usually that part,
that part. Right? It's usually like, I don't really want to look at that
part. Yeah.
And then you got this one person who's triggering you, and you're like, I don't like them because you don't want to look at that part of you. And you're like, oh God, it's always about me. Dang it.
It's so funny. We were talking about that the other day. Like there's certain teachers that like, you know, we love now, or like I learned so much from now. And at one point was like just not into, or like was triggered in some way. And I'm like, it's a cool measurement to now see how receptive and how much I'm able to learn from somebody that I used to feel like, I don't know, you know, like almost repelled by. So it just shows how much you're moving.
Totally. Well, you know, actually on that note, something I've been thinking about lately is I would notice how actually something very specific was bothering me the other day. I was thinking about how like Harvard educated male doctors pissed me off. Now I know that that's such a weird thing to say, but I was just like, they think they know everything. There's more to the world than that. And then I was like, really, like, why is this bothering me? There was a specific thing that was happening, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, why does this bother me? And I was like, oh my gosh, because I feel limited in my ability to like be educated in that way. But actually, I felt it somewhere in me, I felt intimidated that there were things that they knew that I felt like I didn't have the ability and or time to get to. And then I looked at that and I'm like, oh, wait, if I wanted to, I could go into that. I could go in that direction, but I don't want to. And so actually I should be friends with them so that I can get their information because they've done the work and that could be a mind share opportunity. So that was something I had to catch where I realized there was like a little bit of anger that I hadn't been able to go and like grab that opportunity of education. You know what I mean? And that's just like a small like little thing that I was thinking about in terms of teachers. And it's like, actually, that's a possibility for me to be able to join forces with that, you know, that type of person who sees the world completely different than I do.
Right. It's so funny.
That's so cool.
From disdain to, I should be friends with them.
Yeah.
Wait. You know, in like the course of a couple minutes. So any of you
Harvard doctors out there listening, DM me.
Slide into her DM.
Friends awaiting. So funny. And I know we were talking before we jumped on the podcast that you're sharing the prosperity, the heart online for 40 days, which we thought was super rad because we practice that every day too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you guys do that. So, well, I was saying to you guys offline that like I had been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
And actually when I was like just starting, I did it completely in secret. Like not even my closest friends knew. And there wasn't really a reason. It was just that I had this thing that I did and I was trying it out. And then the story I actually told on my social media a couple of weeks ago is that the very first time I ever did it, I got an email that I was getting a $50,000 check to my startup at the time. And I was like, wow, that was fast. And then the second day, that check hit the bank account. And I was like, well, that was weird because that doesn't usually happen that fast.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so that was really the first kind of like nudge of like, whoa, this is something to take more seriously. So I did that many years and I would see all these things happen, but I could never get myself to do it for the full 40 days. And I found that there was always a block in my own ability to allow full prosperity to flow through my life. And so it literally took me 5 years to get to a point where just last year, I decided, let me do this group challenge and add it to I already have like an energy healing monthly group that I have as like a subscription. People get energy healing. And I thought, let me just add it to that so that I can do the full 40 days. It was totally selfish because I was like, if I facilitate it, I have to do it.
You have to show up.
Yeah. So I did that and it was amazing because then all these amazing people from all over the world joined it. And I mean, the craziest stories have come out of that. So I'm doing it again because I want to really take it to the next level with the second dose of 40 days straight.
Oh, I love it.
I love that.
I love it. I feel like you're like, you have this fun mindset of just spirituality that I think is really cool. And I know a lot of people will feel the same way. You're like dabbling and you're consistent in your dabbling and then you're noticing, like you're very aware of what's going on. And I feel like it's like kind of fun. Like it took you, like you just said, it took you 5 years to figure it out, but you kept going with it.
Yeah.
And you had commitment to it.
Yeah.
And then you upped your commitment because you noticed that there was something blocking you. And it's like, this is the thing. It's just this ongoing thing. It's never this thing that you've ever completed.
Totally.
It's always going to be something that's going to be teaching you. You're just picking up these tools.
I love that.
Wherever you can go. And that's what our whole community is doing right now too. It's just like, we're really like all meditating and doing all these different things to kind of grow. And I don't know, I just think you live very similar, I feel like, lives to we do, where it's always something that we're trying.
It's like a whole experimentation.
It's like life is experimenting.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fun tool. Let me try.
Yeah.
Do I like?
Yeah. And it's like, why not? Let's see. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm not hurting anyone. So why not? Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. What am I going to learn? You know, 50 grand in my bank account.
Not so bad.
That's so great. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Why am I not doing it 40 days? I got 50 grand the first week.
Exactly.
It's like, there's got to be something there. I like it. And you're self-aware about it because you're committed to doing it.
And also I think for me, a big part of this has been community.
Yeah.
You know, like I find that I like to do these things on my own, in my own space and my own practices. But I also really, really feel that a lot of the journey has been amplified by me being in community doing these things as well. So yes, for a while I would do HAR. And I actually remember when I first did HAR, not only did we get that check, but I would get tons of press for like 3 months. And I wouldn't really tell anybody that was why it was happening. But then the second time I did
True
HAR,
magician.
yeah, right? The second time I did HAR, I started to have some of my friends do it with me, and then we do it together.
Yeah.
And then that just took it to the next level. And it wasn't even so much about what were we getting, but it just the abundance of the connections that came out of it. So I think so much of what makes this dabbling interesting and fun is also that we get to share this, what we experiment in private, with the people that we can trust and connect with as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It can just take it all to another level and we can all go higher.
Totally.
Yeah. That's so cool. I know. I actually remember when I taught my first, it was a coworker at the time, HAR, and he had never meditated before and never tried anything like this. And I think it was maybe like a week after he did it, got a call from somebody who had actually owed him money from an event that he had put on, but he had been waiting on it for a long time. I think it was something like a year. And he said it came through and he was just like absolutely freaking out. Like he was dying. And he was like, I can't believe this. Like I didn't even really know what I was doing, but I just did it.
So fun.
So yeah, it's so fun to share it, you know? And like just share the love and see other people's experiences.
Totally. So much fun. I love that.
I love it. And we were also talking about that our friend, we have a mutual friend, Shaman Durek, and he was entering in your dreams last night.
Yes.
Oh my God. You said you were going to share with us on the podcast. So we want to hear what he was helping you with.
Hey, Durek. Shouting you out. I'm sure your listeners love him because I know he's just he's so great. But there's been an interesting thing that's happening the past couple of weeks for me. I've just been having a lot of like psychic attacks. I've been having some really dark energies, which I have to say I've never had like this before.
Wow. Okay.
Ever. So
what's it like?
Terror. I think the biggest thing is getting lots of visions of things happening that are very scary things. Like it's what I imagine bird boxes, but like I don't know if you guys seen Bird Box.
No, I won't watch it either.
It's what I imagine that's like. I've just been getting lots of. Well, one of the things, I guess, since we're going there, one of the things I'm personally really working on right now is ancestral healing. So I'm mixed. I have a really diverse background. My dad's from Panama. My mom's white American. So I have like Afro-Latino and like settler blood. And there's just lots of like history that runs through my body that actually in a lot of ways is conflicting. And so I've been having a lot of crazy dreams, visions, like really scary things have been coming up around just ancestral like fears. And that's something that I did not know that was there. I was not conscious of, I wasn't raised with. So, you know, having to face like these visions or dreams or subconscious fears that are now becoming conscious has been like a really big test for me in the past, I'd say 3 months. And I finally actually, I reached out to Durek a couple of days ago and I was just like, hey, like there's been some really crazy energies at night when I'm waking up. I can feel them in the room. Typically that doesn't come to me. I know how to deal with them. I actually remember talking to Lacey Phillips about this a couple months ago and just, you know, I would always say, you know, I see you. You're not welcome in this space and I have dominion over this energy and I'm going to ask you to leave. So I've really been working on that. And Durek recently said, just send them back to the light and just say, do you want me to take you to the light? So that typically scares them away. Because they usually don't want to go. Because you're like, I'll take you to the light. So
I will usher you there like a mother.
Yeah. So I've been really working with that and really stepping into like, I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
You know, but also more so about the energy of just centuries of that energy being physicalized in real people and like what that brings up for me as just like a physical human being and really facing that energy of that's fearful or that is assuming that, you know, there's places or spaces that I'm not safe and really being like, no. I'm not letting that be the dominant energy. So anyways, I was just saying that I had been messaging with Durek about it. And then he came to me in my dream last night and helped me.
He did?
Yeah.
I love it.
And it was just like really beautiful. Another woman who I don't know who she was, she came to my dream and helped me as well. And I woke up feeling very different this morning. So, but I wanted to bring it up because I feel that, ancestral healing seems to be a really big theme with a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this energy has been connected to just like taking my lineage to another level of consciousness through the work that I'm doing and being very conscious of what that means for my family and the trajectory of our lineage into the future. And it's something I talk to my mom, my grandma about often. So, I think with that, like being very conscious that we're elevating the family line in consciousness and in legacy, it's like there's other energies that, may not want to have that happen. So,
right. And things that are going to come up that can't be there anymore.
Exactly.
If
that
you
need
want
to be recognized.
You have to,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like this, any sort of like fractalized, it's not even fractals, it's like scattered energy has to be kind of gathered back, looked at and healed together so you can take it all with you.
Exactly.
And move in the direction you want to go.
Exactly. And it's actually been such a blessing for me because not recognizing that some of these stories or family beliefs were baked in to my physical body, them coming to the surface at the time that they have has actually helped me to deepen my relationships with my family, with my boyfriend, with my closer friends, because the things that I didn't know were playing out subconsciously are now I'm aware.
Yeah.
And I'm like actually able to talk to them about it and go deeper and go into deeper healing with especially my family. I think that's been a really big thing.
That's so cool.
What a gift. Yeah.
Not an easy one.
No. Yeah. It doesn't seem like a gift at first. Yeah.
But definitely a gift nonetheless.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah. It's really important right now, for us to look at these things and to just go into them.
Totally.
And yeah, I feel like with the ancestral stuff, it is something that like as a planet and as a collective energy is huge because it's just like still lingering a lot, and we can't take it with us forward.
Totally.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate this discussion really because there is so much of the suppression of the spiritual on the planet. And I feel like it's really encouraging to have a conversation like this with somebody like you who is really open to kind of moving through it and is not afraid and can, it's like, these are not things to be afraid of. They are going to feel like you should be afraid of facing them, but it's so much more rewarding to face it than walk around your life just avoiding all of it because you don't want to be scared. It's like I had a conversation over the weekend with like an extended family member and she kind of opened her eyes a little bit like, oh, I guess I didn't realize that darkness really wanted me to be afraid. So I would never become like on a higher path because she's like, I really don't want to be open to it because it scared me when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you just have to lean into the fear and really, it's just an encouraging conversation. I feel like more of us, if we can encourage each other to really like be so open to kind of going into some of the crap, it's like it's gonna just dispel like everywhere and heal so much and take the families, and yourself and everyone around you higher. So
totally. And I also just want to add to anyone who this like resonates with, I think it's really important to also see therapists and to make sure that you're approaching this from a mental health perspective as well. Because there is a spiritual aspect of this. I mean, especially my energy healing, this has been a huge theme. I mean, even with my friends who they have like broken so many barriers in their own families and they're taking their lives to new successful places. And then we see, oh my gosh, like there's another layer of the family lineage pulling you back. Like, so, obviously there's an energetic aspect of this, but there's also like the mental and emotional aspect of this, which is very human and very much something that I think psychology can support us with. So I want to be really sure to make sure I bring that to the conversation when we talk about ancestral healing. And I believe that we all need it. And I think it's really something that we're doing a great service to ourselves, our families, and our communities when we really address like, wow, what subconscious fears, what subconscious assumptions am I carrying around that are suppressing me that maybe I've just been perpetuating because I didn't know it was there.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
I love that. So important.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, we think it would be awesome if you're open to it to just kind of see a little bit about like what your energy healing looks like, or just give the audience a little feel and us a little feel for like how you're, doing these healings.
Yeah, definitely. I would say if you come to me either, in person or over FaceTime, which is typically how we do it.
Yeah.
It's usually the same. And actually I do a lot of group sessions too.
Cool. Okay.
And I'll be teaching this at a workshop intensive that I'm teaching here in LA on the 16th of March. And what we'll be doing that's similar to the privates is you will lay down and I will teach you the breath work pattern that I do, which is very similar to the holotropic breathing practice. And for me, that practice is very much about using the breath to go into deeper layers of your consciousness and deeper layers into experiencing the present moment. And so it's really kind of this microcosm that we're getting an opportunity to look at through the breath work, where you see how you're being in that moment to then see how you're actually being in all moments of your life. And you're using the container of breath, which is a consistent practice within our session, to kind of be able to have it as a litmus test for like, how am I thinking? How am I feeling? How am I being? And then you go deeper and deeper into your consciousness when you do that breath work. And while you do that breath work, I come and I feel into your different chakras. We typically start with the 7 main chakras. Sometimes we go to 10 or 12 chakras and really just feel in what's open, what's closed. I like to say that each of our chakras is like a chapter in a book. And each moment we have a whole book to tell. But we also have infinite editions of that book. So just because I read one of your books doesn't mean that that's the only book you have written, because you have infinite books. But in that moment, when we do a session, I get to read each chapter and see how they all come together for the story of where you are in that moment. And then we get to really open up about what choices you'd like to make now that we know that that's where you're at that moment. Like, do you really want to expand into, making more money or to have a family? I have a client that I just worked on this morning. I've been working with her for a year. I helped her get pregnant this time last year. She now has a 2-month-old baby. And we really had to work through, what was her fear about having this baby? And it turns out she's the breadwinner of the family. She's a painter. She's extremely successful as a painter. And one of her fears about having a baby was that she had to be even more successful in her mind and have to have paintings that would sell more. And so if she had another baby, that maybe she couldn't do all of those things. And so it was actually blocking the energy to allowing her to be pregnant, even though that's what she wanted most. So like looking at these stories that we tell ourselves and how the energy manifests and then breathing through it and releasing it. I'm not saying that I'm responsible for her getting pregnant or anything like that. But what I am saying is that we can use these practices to really see where we're holding energy and where we're holding beliefs, and then move through them so that we can make more conscious choices about what we actually want to do.
Yeah. What we actually want to do.
Actually.
Yes.
I love that word.
Yeah. Sometimes we're not honest.
We think.
And then deep down, you actually want this. Be honest.
Because when you break it down and when you summarize it like that, it's very clear. Of course, she's not
like
getting
what a
it.
great freaking reason.
Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, oh my God, no wonder you don't want to get pregnant, because you're like an amazing painter. And now you have this burden because you're like, shoot, I hope I can keep this up,
Yeah.
But it ended up being that was just a story and a belief. And once we open that up, I mean, it's not even a problem for her anymore. I'm so excited to see. And this is what's so great when you work with practitioners over time, you get to really see how we get to tell ourselves these stories and we get into these holding patterns of beliefs that we're completely unaware of until you go deeper into the now, deeper into the consciousness to really see what is it that I'm up to? What is it that I'm actually playing out all the time? And that it actually makes sense. And that's why I do it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But is it what I actually want? And that's, I think, what the practices that I like to share with my clients and my friends, that we can use things like breath work and bringing our attention to our thoughts and our feelings and practicing that to then be able to amplify the energy that we desire.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
It's so funny because like you have this intention of being so present, and it's like I feel it.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
I feel like locked in right here. Just like
Me too. I had to like take off my shoes.
My shoes.
And,
Oh, really?
yeah, I just feel so present too. And I thought it was interesting what you said too about, I think you said somber, like if you seem somber. And I think sometimes that can be like a misconception of being like in a neutral, present space that, you know, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's not how it actually is when you're experiencing it.
it's blissful. Is kind of what it is.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I just feel like locked into you because that's your intention and you're here with us. And so it creates this little vortex of being right here.
Totally.
And it feels like time slows a little bit and
Totally.
like a magnet.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. I got a deja vu when we were doing this. So
Oh,
I
you
was
did?
like, ooh, that's
Ooh.
good. Yeah.
Oh, I've been getting
looking at you just like this. I was like, ooh.
Okay, funny because I just got a couple messages we'll have to share offline.
Oh.
So anyway,
So awesome. Well, it's so fun to hear like how you're serving and helping
Thank
so
you.
many people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
accomplishing your Virgo mission, service
Yes.
to
Yes.
yourself and others.
Yeah.
Being a teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I said, it's a practice. Unlike the Virgo that I really want to be, I'm not perfect.
Oh my God, I know. It's not a real
That's the
thing.
true
It's an
test of the
illusion.
Virgo,
Yeah.
right? It's like, no, it's actually never going to be perfect. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to speak to these things, which, you know, just a few years ago would have been so out there that now we can have conversations and we're
I
like,
know.
oh yeah, of course.
I know. So fun.
So true. So we have a couple last questions
Yeah.
that we always ask, although we would love to keep talking to you forever. So the first one is, what is your favorite way to elevate yourself right now or recently?
Right now.
But I like the right,
Right
now with you.
I would say a focus for me in this moment and lately has been really just feeling into my body, because I find that if I have a tendency to really leave my body and go up into the ethereal, non-physical world. And I'm sure you guys can relate to that. So actually a way for me to elevate my life is to be in my body. And so for me to really feel like if I'm having cramps, like to really feel those cramps instead of like go and meditate away those cramps. You know, it's like, no, let me really feel my feet. Let me really notice, you know, what's in my environment and how that's impacting me. So being in my body and all of the things that can go into that is how I feel that I'm actually elevating my life right now.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Being in the body.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It just brought me back to when I was young. I never really liked taking Advil, even though I took it a lot, but like I didn't really want to. I always wanted to feel my cramps.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to feel the pain a little bit to like it's giving you like your body's giving you messages.
Mm-hmm.
And if you kind of numb it away or don't pay attention,
Totally.
You don't know.
you
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a big problem. And you're like, whoa, it was telling me this a long time ago.
Totally.
But I numbed it or I didn't even think about it.
Totally.
So I feel like I love this. It's such a present moment thing.
I know. Yeah.
Definitely.
And so the last question we always ask is, if you had one message to leave the entire world with and everyone was listening, what would it be?
You have everything you need inside of you. It's really that easy.
Yeah.
It's really about coming back to self, getting to know the true self. That's your work. That's my work. That's what we are here to do. And There's literally everything from the house to the family to the soulmate to the businesses, everything that we want, it's already in us. And then as you experience that and you cultivate that energy, you will then see it outside of yourself. So it's all there. I know it's so simple, but that's it.
Right. I love it. I love it. And yeah, it's like going back to the practice that you were talking about when at the very beginning of the podcast, about how you actually did it with Project Runway. And so kind of going into that energy and just cultivating it every day and every moment and feeling it, and then watch it, time and space just kind of collapse and the thing just show up in front of you faster than you thought.
Totally.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That commitment. I feel so much like commitment and grounding and like interest and dabbling and growth around you. It's cool.
Thank you. I like the contrast of those things. I do like to dabble. I feel like I'm constantly kind of dancing around all these things, but I'm also very much committed.
You're committed.
Also very much in my practices.
You can be committed in your dabbling, like committed to dabble, but create the results within your dabbling.
Totally.
Like you do one thing, like your heart, you've been working on that for however many years. Yeah. You've also been dabbling in other things, but you go deep with the things you dabble with.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes, you go deep with them. I was like,
deep with your dabbling.
Deep with your dabbling.
Oh my God. Well, we love you. And so lastly, where can everybody find you? Because we know they're going to love you too.
Oh, yeah. So you can definitely follow me on Instagram at Millana Snow. That's Millana SNOW. Also, Wellness Official is on Instagram. And if you follow us, you'll have all the updates on the beta that's coming out for the public to finally be able to use, which is very exciting.
So amazing.
And this is Wellness on Dash Radio, which is playing every Wednesday on Dash, the radio app. And I'd love to have you guys on there someday too.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
We would love
that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I love it. Thanks.
And that's a wrap. So we had so much fun hearing about Millana's journey and just everything we talked about. We hope that you guys did too. She is a phenomenal leader and light worker in the world. And we are just honored to have her and have connected with her. And we hope you guys connect with her more as well.
Yes. So with that, let's head on into the lobby.
It's time for Lobby Talk.
So happy Earth Day.
Woohoo!
First and foremost, today is Earth Day. And so happy Earth Day because, over here though, every day is Earth Day.
Yes. Never forget.
Every day is Earth Day. So anyway, you guys, it's exciting. We've got so much going on, but we've just kicked off our mastermind.
Yes.
And so we've got a big group of women who are just badass.
Elevating the globe.
We cannot believe that we've attracted these beautiful women and they're powerful.
Yes.
They're so powerful. And this is a great group. And we're just very, very honored to be holding the space.
Yes.
So anyway, we just had to kind of celebrate that with you guys. Big win for us over here because we love these girls.
We can't wait for this journey. Yeah. So we're so excited and there's just so much good energy happening. And, with Earth Day and just kind of a lot of attention on Mother Earth, this week we're really, looking at how we can channel the spirit of Mother Earth more and more. So we are going to be sending out a blog post. If you're listening to this on Monday, it'll come out tomorrow. And it's going to be a meditation to channel the spirit of Mother Earth. So you guys can check out the tutorial on YouTube, and then we'll have the full meditation going into our 528 Academy. But, we are really just wanting always to be a part of the change for creating a better future and really shifting the vibrations of the entire planet towards, more love and kindness and compassion. So it's just always, like you said, Tara, every single day, it's just always about how can we become aware of our actions towards Mother Earth and how can we treat her better and better?
I love that, So Yogi Bhajan had a quote actually that we love and we've pulled into our blog post, but we will tell you here. He said, the universe is asking you to confirm with yourself whether you would like to serve the earth, to save the earth, be a sage of the earth. Earth, the sustainer, the mother of you, which nurtures you, can you nurture it back? That which serves you, can you serve it back? And I just really love that. He said that on July 23rd, 1996. So, he was really tapping into this so we could really pay attention to this even more, 20 something years later. So this is a big topic and the astrology supports it. There's the Uranus and Taurus kind of happening for the next couple of years. And we're really focused on the earth and revolutionizing how we treat her and how we bring in sustainability into our own lives and then into corporate America, into, this big businesses. And you see it everywhere. I just saw like Blue Bottle. They did away with their plastic straws and now they have compostable straws and they sent a whole email out. And I'm like, this is a thing. It's a ripple effect and it happens really fast. If we can kind of really get in our own, it starts with us. So we individually channel in, call in the spirit of Mother Earth. And then it ripples out and it's very fast. Again, like I said, it's just fast, you guys. Happening real fast and we got to ride the wave because Mother Earth is asking us to do it.
It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, we love that you guys are posting. So many more of you are really transitioning to a sustainable lifestyle, posting your reusable bags, your reusable cups and silverware and all of the good things. So we'll put our full sustainable blog post in the show notes as well if you guys haven't checked that out or if this is new to you. But yeah, we're loving just seeing how this whole community is transforming. And yeah, I think, it is really fun to see the corporations making change because it's important and it makes a big difference because the corporations are really channeling a lot of the big dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of influence. So, I posted some new Zara jeans that I got on Instagram from their Join Life sustainable brand. And some people had some comments about how like Zara as a whole is not that, great of a brand, I guess, as far as practices, but we really want to celebrate the positive parts of big companies that are creating sustainable lines. So I think it's about celebrating the positive and doing what we can to support those lines so that the demand is higher and therefore the supply will go up. And that's really what we're doing. And it's important to be a part of it.
Absolutely. If more people are buying sustainable things or non-toxic things that are, just even one product of a whole brand, that brand is going to pay attention and they're going to create more things that are alike. And so that's how change is made. And so we celebrate the small things, even if they're small, in a big brand that we may not all love or something,
Yeah.
So that's how we feel about a lot of things. So, again, we're always celebrating over here how we can really treat Mother Earth better, always, and channel in her energy. So it's exciting. And, we are getting ready over here to really deeply channel Mother Earth at our Joshua Tree retreat here in May from the 16th to the 19th. And we're going to be kind of doing a lot of work outside, weather permitting, but it should be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy out in Joshua Tree is incredible. It's so powerful. There's a lot of vortices out there, meaning just lots of energy swirling and portals, if you will, of energy that you can really tap into. And we're going to be doing that together. And we went out last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember now, but we were planning, we were doing some planning with food people and Chef Zara, who are actually going to be doing all of our food, and it's going to be amazing vegan food. For the whole
delicious.
Thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and just planning, we're calling in a lot of different things coming into this retreat. So we're excited to see it sort of take on its own energy and what it's going to be, because it's going to be fun. We're going to have such an epic time. There's a really great group of people going out, and we know so many more of you are coming with us too.
Yes. So if this is your first time hearing about it, it is our Sacred Moon Campout in Joshua Tree, May 16th through the 19th. And, it is camp style cabins, and we're all going to be coming together doing tons of Kundalini yoga, really coming together in community, tapping into the full moon energy. So, we feel like we all have to take time away and retreat and go within and give ourselves, time to love and care on ourselves in a deep way. So this is a perfect opportunity. We cannot wait to meet more of you. And it's really a big part of this age is to, take what we're doing online, offline. And actually meet and hug each other and practice together in a room. So
I love it.
It's really important for us to do more in-person events and retreats like this. And the last retreat we had in Bali was beyond magical.
It was.
So we can only imagine what Joshua Tree will be.
Yeah. So we will put the link in the show notes to head on over and learn more about the Joshua Tree Retreat. And there's space available for anyone who wants to join us. So you guys, we love you so much and happy Earth Day and have a beautiful week. And we hope this episode inspired you to have a wonderful week ahead, or whenever you're listening to this, whatever that week involves.
Yes.
We love you. And with that,
may the pure light within you guide your way on. Love your mother.
Says the Cancer. Satnam.